Welcome to 10 Positive Habits that will rewire your mindset. You didn't find this audiobook by accident. Whether you're here seeking clarity, motivation, or transformation, you're in the right place. Your mindset, the lens through which you view yourself, others, and the world, is the foundation of your life experience. And here's the good news, it's not fixed. It can be rewired, reprogrammed, and rebuilt, by choice. That's exactly what this journey is about. We live in a world of constant noise, instant gratification, and mental overload. It's easy to fall into patterns of negativity, self-doubt, and reactive thinking. But beneath that mental clutter lies a deeper part of you, a calm, capable, focused mind ready to emerge. Rewiring your mindset is not a gimmick or a temporary fix. It's a conscious decision to live intentionally. It's a commitment to yourself. This audiobook is not a list of superficial self-help hacks. It's a guide to building real daily habits that create lasting change from the inside out. Each chapter is dedicated to one powerful habit, simple in concept but transformative in practice. These aren't habits that require massive life overhauls. Instead, they are daily shifts that, when repeated over time, shape how you think, feel, and respond to the world. Think of this audiobook as a mirror and a toolkit. A mirror to help you see your current mindset clearly without judgment, and a toolkit to help you build something stronger. These habits aren't about perfection. They're about progression. You don't have to implement everything overnight. You just have to start. One thought, one habit, one day at a time. So as you listen, pause when something resonates. Take notes. Reflect. Most importantly, act. Knowledge alone doesn't change lives. Applied knowledge does. The power to rewire your mindset is already within you. All it takes is intention, repetition, and belief. Let's begin this journey together, one habit at a time. Chapter 1. Practice daily gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most accessible yet underutilized tools we have for transforming our mindset. It doesn't require wealth, success, or a perfect life. It only requires attention, conscious attention to the moments, people, and things that bring value to your existence. At its core, gratitude is the act of seeing what is already good, even when life feels imperfect. In a world that constantly demands more from us, more productivity, more results, more achievements, gratitude slows us down. It invites us to pause and notice what is already present. Without gratitude, we train our brains to fixate on what's lacking, what's broken, or what hasn't yet happened. But when you practice daily gratitude, your mind learns to filter for abundance instead of scarcity. Research in positive psychology shows that people who consistently practice gratitude experience increased happiness, reduced depression, better sleep, and stronger relationships. Why? Because gratitude shifts your focus. It takes your mental spotlight off what's wrong and redirects it toward what's right. Over time, this shift becomes automatic. It becomes a new mental default. Daily gratitude doesn't have to be dramatic or poetic. You don't need to wait for life-changing events to be grateful. It can be as simple as savoring your morning coffee, appreciating the warmth of sunlight through your window, or recognizing the kindness in a stranger's smile. When you learn to appreciate the small things, life begins to feel fuller, even on the hard days. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate this habit is through a gratitude journal. Every day, take 5 minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for. Try to be specific. Instead of saying, "I'm grateful for my partner," write, "I'm grateful that my partner made me tea when I was feeling overwhelmed." The more detail you include, the more emotionally impactful the memory becomes. But gratitude isn't just an internal feeling, it's meant to be expressed. When you take the time to say thank you to others, it strengthens bonds, deepens trust, and fosters connection. Don't underestimate the power of a handwritten note, a sincere message, or even a verbal acknowledgement. When others feel appreciated, it nurtures a cycle of kindness and generosity. Even in moments of struggle, there is always something to be grateful for. In fact, practicing gratitude during difficult times is where it becomes most transformative. It doesn't mean denying pain or pretending everything's okay. It means choosing to find meaning, growth, or even a tiny glimmer of light amidst darkness. Gratitude doesn't erase difficulty, it builds resilience through it. It's also important to note that gratitude is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it may feel forced or repetitive. That's okay. Stick with it. Over time, you'll begin to notice things you never paid attention to before. Your mind will scan your day looking for things to be grateful for, not out of obligation but out of habit. And here's the beauty: gratitude rewires the brain. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change, means that new habits literally reshape your neural pathways. When you consistently focus on what you're thankful for, you strengthen the parts of your brain responsible for empathy, emotional regulation, and optimism. Your brain learns to favor positive thoughts over negative ones. Ultimately, gratitude is not a destination, it's a practice. It's not about feeling grateful once and being done. It's about choosing, every single day, to find something worth appreciating. In doing so, you cultivate a mindset that's grounded in presence, anchored in joy, and open to life. And that mindset, when practiced consistently, becomes your superpower. Chapter 2. Begin the day with stillness. In our hyper-connected world, the moment we open our eyes, we're bombarded. Notifications light up our screens, to-do lists flood our minds, and the day begins not with presence, but with pressure. But imagine just for a moment starting your day differently. Imagine waking up to a gentle stillness. No noise, no rush, just breath, awareness, and calm. Stillness isn't a luxury. It's a mental anchor. It's the grounding force that allows you to face the storms of your day with clarity and strength. Beginning your day in stillness is not about doing nothing. It's about doing something essential, reconnecting with yourself before the world demands pieces of you. It is in this quiet space that you find alignment, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. When you create a few minutes of silence in the morning, you are not wasting time. You are reclaiming it. You are telling your brain and your body, we begin on our terms today. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating morning stillness is mindful breathing. Set aside just 5 minutes after waking. Sit upright. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Let the breath anchor you. Feel it rise and fall. Let your thoughts come and go without judgment. This simple act reboots your nervous system and shifts your mind out of. Another beautiful way to begin in stillness is meditation. You don't need incense, mantras, or a mountain retreat. You need presence. Even if you've never meditated before, you can begin by sitting in silence and observing your thoughts. Picture each thought as a cloud passing through the sky of your mind. Don't chase them. Don't resist them. Just watch. With consistency, meditation sharpens your focus, softens your reactions, and creates spaciousness in your inner world. For some, stillness is found in nature. A short walk in the morning sun, the sound of birds, the scent of dew, these natural rhythms ground you in the present moment. Nature doesn't rush, yet everything gets done. By aligning yourself with nature's pace, you learn the art of patience, of presence, and of listening. If you can, take your morning stillness outdoors, even for a few minutes. Let the earth remind you of what's real. Digital discipline is key. Resist the urge to check your phone the moment you wake up. This is your sacred window. The first 30 minutes after waking are when your brain is most impressionable. What you consume in this time sets the tone for your emotional state, your focus, and your mindset. Swap scrolling for silence. Trade noise for nourishment. Guard your mornings like sacred ground. In your stillness, you might incorporate journaling, a powerful practice to bring mental clarity. Write without judgment. Let your pen flow. Ask yourself, what am I feeling today? Or, what would I like to let go of before I begin? Or simply, what do I need right now? Stillness opens the door to self-inquiry, and journaling walks you through it. Your morning pages can become a conversation with your highest self. Beginning your day with stillness also invites you to set intentions rather than react to circumstances. An intention is not a task, it's a direction. Ask yourself, how do I want to show up today? Perhaps the answer is with calm, with courage, with gratitude. Say it out loud. Visualize it. When you start your day with intention, you begin with inner power. Your actions flow from clarity, not confusion. Stillness may take different forms for different people. For some, it's prayer or spiritual connection. For others, it's a few minutes of quiet stretching, or sipping tea while watching the sun rise. There is no right way. The only wrong way is not doing it at all. What matters is that you give yourself space before the world intrudes. That you meet yourself before you meet your inbox. Stillness is a practice, not a performance. As you integrate this habit, you'll notice something subtle but profound. Your days begin to feel different. Less rushed. Less reactive. More rooted. More intentional. When you start in stillness, You train your mind to slow down even in moments of chaos. You begin to listen more, both to the world and to yourself. And from that place of deep listening, a new mindset is born. One of awareness, resilience, and peace. Chapter 3. Embrace a growth mindset. A growth mindset is one of the most powerful mental shifts you can make. The term was popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, who defined it as the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents can be developed through dedication, effort, and learning. This contrasts with a fixed mindset, the belief that your qualities are innate and unchangeable. When you embrace a growth mindset, you open yourself up to endless possibilities for growth and transformation. You start to view challenges, failures, and setbacks not as proof of your limitations, but as opportunities to expand your potential. At its core, a growth mindset is about embracing the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. It invites you to see effort as a necessary part of mastery, not as a sign of weakness. When you adopt this perspective, your brain begins to rewire itself to value perseverance and resilience. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks because they feel uncomfortable, you lean into discomfort knowing it's the soil from which your growth springs. This simple shift in thinking can drastically change how you approach problems and setbacks in life. People with a fixed mindset tend to view failure as a reflection of their self-worth. They believe that if they fail, it means they're not smart or talented enough. This belief creates a fear of failure, which leads to avoiding risks, quitting too early, or not trying at all. On the other hand, when you embrace a growth mindset, failure becomes a vital feedback mechanism. It's not a verdict on who you are but a necessary step toward learning and improvement. You learn to say to yourself, "This didn't work, but I now know what to try differently next time." To cultivate a growth mindset, start paying attention to the language you use, especially your self-talk. Replace absolute statements like, "I'm just not good at this," or "I'll never be able to do that," with phrases that imply potential and progress, such as, "I'm not there yet," or "I can improve with practice." These subtle changes in phrasing help rewire your brain to believe in possibility and change. It's the difference between shutting down and opening up to learning. Seeking feedback is another powerful habit of those with a growth mindset. Instead of taking criticism personally, view it as a gift, valuable information that helps you identify blind spots and areas for improvement. Embrace constructive feedback with curiosity, not defensiveness. This willingness to learn from others accelerates your growth and builds your capacity for self-improvement. It also fosters humility and openness, which are essential traits on the path of continual growth. Another critical aspect of the growth mindset is celebrating effort, not just outcomes. Society often glorifies talent and success, which can make effort feel less valuable. But effort is the engine that powers improvement. When you celebrate the hard work and the persistence you put in, regardless of the immediate results, you reinforce the mindset that growth is a process. This approach motivates you to keep going even when progress feels slow or invisible. It's also essential to recognize that setbacks and struggles are a normal part of growth. The road to mastery is never linear. It is filled with bumps, plateaus, and detours. When you view these challenges as integral to the process, you remove much of the frustration and disappointment. Instead, you develop resilience, the ability to bounce back and keep moving forward despite difficulties. Resilience is the muscle that a growth mindset helps you build over time. Practicing a growth mindset doesn't mean ignoring your current limitations. It means acknowledging where you are now while believing in the power of change. It's about being honest with yourself, identifying areas for development, and committing to learning. This mindset turns every experience, success or failure, into valuable data for your growth journey. It's a lifelong commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Finally, embracing a growth mindset impacts every area of your life: relationships, career, health, and personal goals. It encourages you to continuously learn, adapt, and evolve. This mindset creates a positive feedback loop. As you grow, you gain confidence, which motivates you to pursue even bigger challenges. Over time, this rewiring of your thoughts builds a resilient, empowered mindset that thrives in uncertainty and complexity. Remember, the growth mindset isn't something you either have or don't have. It's a set of beliefs and habits you can develop with practice and intention. Start by challenging your fixed mindset thoughts, welcoming challenges, and valuing effort. With patience and persistence, you'll find your mind expanding, your fears shrinking, and your life opening to new possibilities you never imagined before. Chapter 4. Take control of your digital diet. In today's hyper-connected world, our digital consumption has become as fundamental to our daily lives as food and water. Yet, unlike physical nourishment, the digital content we consume can either nourish our minds or poison them. Just as we carefully select what we eat to maintain physical health, we must also become intentional about our digital diet to protect and rewire our mindset. Unchecked, our screens can flood our brains with stress, distraction, and negativity, slowly eroding our mental resilience. One of the biggest challenges with digital consumption is its addictive design. Social media platforms, news feeds, and video streaming services are engineered to capture your attention for as long as possible. They trigger dopamine hits, the brain's pleasure chemical, with every like, comment, or new notification. This creates a loop where your brain craves more, pulling you into endless scrolling, often without awareness or purpose. This compulsive behavior can chip away at your focus, patience, and self-worth over time. To reclaim control, start by creating tech-free zones in your home, places where no screens are allowed. Your bedroom is an ideal space for this, because exposure to screens before sleep disrupts your natural circadian rhythm and harms your ability to rest deeply. Similarly, the dinner table is another important space to keep digital devices at bay. This encourages genuine connection with family and friends, strengthening relationships and anchoring your mental well-being in the real world. Next, set clear boundaries for when and how you engage with digital media. Rather than leaving apps open all day or checking your phone first thing in the morning, schedule specific digital windows when you allow yourself to browse social media or catch up on the news. This prevents mindless consumption and reduces overwhelm. For example, you might limit social media to 20 minutes in the evening after work, and turn off notifications outside these periods to minimize distractions. Curating your digital inputs is equally crucial. Just like you wouldn't eat spoiled food, be mindful about the content you consume. Unfollow or mute accounts that consistently bring negativity, comparison, or fear into your feed. Instead, follow creators, influencers, and communities that inspire, educate, and uplift you. Fill your online spaces with positivity and growth-oriented content that aligns with the mindset you want to cultivate. Be conscious of the news you consume, too. Constant exposure to alarming headlines and negative stories can trigger stress responses in your brain, even if you're not directly affected. While staying informed is important, it's equally important to balance this with content that fosters hope and solutions. Try limiting your news intake to a set time each day, and choose reputable sources that report with integrity rather than sensationalism. Digital detoxes, intentional breaks from screens, are a powerful practice to reset your mind. Even a single day or weekend without social media or unnecessary screen time can bring profound clarity, calm, and renewed perspective. Use these detoxes to reconnect with yourself, nature, or offline hobbies that recharge your mental and emotional energy. Another aspect to consider is multitasking. Our brains are not designed to focus deeply while constantly switching between apps, emails, messages, and notifications. This fragmented attention leads to cognitive fatigue and decreased productivity. To combat this, practice single tasking. Dedicate uninterrupted blocks of time to focused work or rest, and turn off all digital interruptions during these periods. The impact of your digital diet extends beyond just mindset. It affects your emotional state and even your self-image. Social media often presents a curated highlight reel of others' lives, which can foster unhealthy comparisons and feelings of inadequacy. Remember that these portrayals are rarely authentic or complete. Cultivating awareness of this illusion protects your self-esteem and encourages a kinder internal dialogue. Finally, taking control of your digital diet means reclaiming your time and attention as precious resources. When you actively choose what to consume and what to avoid, you create space for creativity, reflection, and real-world connection. This empowered approach rewires your brain to prioritize what truly matters, building a mindset of intentionality and presence that serves you throughout your life. Chapter 5. Journal for mental clarity. Journaling is one of the most powerful tools you can use to rewire your mindset because it helps you bridge the gap between your inner world and your conscious awareness. Often, our thoughts, worries, and feelings get tangled in a web inside our minds, making it difficult to see clearly or make sense of what's really going on. When you put pen to paper, you create a physical space where these swirling thoughts can take shape, allowing you to untangle them piece by piece. This simple act of externalizing your thoughts shifts your mental clutter into something tangible and manageable. Many people underestimate journaling because they think it has to be complicated or profound. The truth is, journaling doesn't require perfect grammar, fancy language, or even a particular format. It simply requires honesty. When you write without judgment or censoring yourself, you give your mind permission to explore and express what's beneath the surface. This raw honesty is the key to gaining clarity and understanding. Over time, these honest entries create a mirror that reflects your inner state, revealing hidden fears, desires, and recurring patterns that might have gone unnoticed. One of the most effective journaling techniques is to use prompts that challenge your usual ways of thinking. For example, asking yourself questions like, "What am I avoiding right now?" or "What emotions am I afraid to face?" invites you to dig deeper into your psyche. These prompts can guide your thoughts toward areas that need attention and healing. You don't have to answer every question perfectly or completely. Just the act of engaging with these questions expands your awareness and starts to reshape your mindset from reactive to reflective. Another powerful approach is the practice of morning pages, popularized by Julia Cameron in her book The Artist's Way. Morning pages involve writing 3 pages of free-flowing, unfiltered thoughts first thing in the morning. This process acts as a mental clearing mechanism, like opening the windows to air out your mind. By pouring out everything from random worries to fleeting ideas, you create space for creativity, calm, and focus throughout the day. It's not about producing polished writing. It's about creating a habit of self-communication that helps you start your day grounded and clear. Journaling also helps you track your progress and growth over time. When you look back at entries from weeks or months ago, you gain perspective on how far you've come, what challenges you've overcome, and which limiting beliefs have loosened their grip. This retrospective view fuels motivation and resilience because it proves to you that change is possible. The written record becomes a testament to your evolving mindset, a source of encouragement on days when self-doubt creeps in. It's important to create a safe and consistent journaling ritual. Choose a time and place where you feel comfortable and free from distraction. Some people prefer journaling in the quiet solitude of early morning. Others find evening journaling helpful to process the day's events and emotions. Find what works for you and treat this time as a sacred appointment with yourself. The consistency of this habit is what rewires your mindset, as it trains your brain to pause, reflect, and reset regularly. Many people worry that journaling will force them to relive painful experiences or negative emotions. While it's true that writing about difficult feelings can bring discomfort initially, it is also incredibly healing. Journaling creates a safe container where you can explore your vulnerabilities without fear of judgment. This process gradually diminishes the power of negative emotions, allowing you to process and release them rather than suppress or deny them. Over time, this habit helps you develop emotional resilience and a deeper sense of self-compassion. In addition to emotional clarity, journaling sharpens your problem-solving skills. When you write about challenges or decisions you're facing, you activate your brain's ability to analyze and strategize. The act of writing forces your mind to slow down and organize scattered thoughts, which often leads to unexpected insights and solutions. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you approach problems with a clear, calm mindset. This shift is crucial for rewiring your brain to focus on possibilities rather than obstacles. You can also use journaling as a way to set intentions and visualize the mindset you want to cultivate. Writing down your goals, affirmations, or the kind of person you aspire to be makes your desires concrete. It turns vague wishes into actionable commitments. When you revisit these intentions regularly, you reinforce the neural pathways associated with positive beliefs and habits. This repetitive reinforcement is what rewires your mindset, making new thought patterns stronger and more automatic over time. Finally, journaling connects you with your authentic self. In the midst of a busy, noisy world, journaling is a practice of self-presence. It invites you to listen deeply to your inner voice, distinguish it from external influences, and nurture your unique perspective. This connection to self-awareness is the foundation of every other positive habit we've discussed in this audiobook. When you journal, you aren't just writing, you're creating a bridge to your mind's true clarity, your emotional balance, and your empowered future. Chapter 6. Move your body every day. Our minds and bodies are intricately connected. What happens in your body profoundly influences how you think, feel, and perceive the world. Movement isn't just about physical health or appearance. It's a foundational pillar of mental well-being and mindset transformation. When you commit to moving your body every day, you're signaling to your brain that you value yourself and your life. This commitment creates a powerful ripple effect, rewiring your mindset towards resilience, positivity, and clarity. The science behind this connection is compelling. Physical activity releases neurotransmitters such as endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin, often called the feel-good chemicals. These biochemicals help reduce stress, alleviate anxiety, and lift your mood. Even just a short walk or gentle stretching session can spark this release. This natural boost improves focus, calms the mind, and makes it easier to approach life's challenges with a sense of calm and confidence. Yet, movement is often misunderstood as needing to be intense or complicated. The truth is, consistency trumps intensity. It's not about spending hours in the gym or running marathons. It's about integrating simple, intentional movements into your daily routine. Whether it's a 10-minute stretch after waking up, a brisk walk during lunch, or dancing to your favorite song, every little bit counts. These small actions compound over time and reshape your brain's response to stress and fatigue. Moving your body daily also cultivates a deeper sense of presence. When you engage in physical activity, especially mindful practices like yoga, tai chi, or even mindful walking, you bring your awareness fully into the present moment. This focus on the now interrupts negative thought loops and reduces rumination. It teaches your brain to find peace in the present rather than getting lost in worries about the future or regrets from the past. Beyond the chemical benefits, daily movement enhances your energy levels. Sedentary lifestyles can leave you feeling sluggish, mentally foggy, and uninspired. Conversely, moving regularly increases blood flow and oxygen delivery to your brain, waking it up and sharpening your cognitive functions. This heightened mental clarity empowers you to make better decisions, approach tasks with enthusiasm, and maintain a positive outlook throughout the day. For many people, movement also becomes a metaphor for personal growth. Just as muscles grow stronger with consistent exercise, your mindset strengthens when you push gently against discomfort. The habit of moving through resistance, be it physical or mental, builds discipline and self-trust. It reminds you that progress is possible, and that you have the capacity to overcome obstacles by taking one step at a time. Creating a movement habit is also a powerful act of self-love and respect. It tells your subconscious mind that you are worthy of care and attention. This message can gradually replace negative internal scripts like, "I'm too tired," or "I'm not good enough." Each time you choose to move, you reinforce the belief that your well-being matters, and that you are capable of nurturing yourself from the inside out. If you're new to movement or find it challenging to stay consistent, start small and build gradually. Choose activities that bring you joy rather than those that feel like a chore. Maybe it's gardening, playing with pets, or exploring local parks. Find ways to incorporate movement naturally into your life rather than forcing it. This approach makes movement a sustainable, lifelong habit instead of a temporary task. Remember that your body is your home. Treat it with kindness and gratitude. Moving daily doesn't mean punishing your body, it means honoring it by giving it what it needs to thrive: motion, stretch, and breath. When you view movement as a celebration of what your body can do, rather than a means to an end, your mindset begins to shift from scarcity and frustration to gratitude and possibility. In essence, moving your body every day rewires your brain for positivity, resilience, and presence. It creates a foundation for a mindset that embraces life's fullness, with all its ups and downs. So start now, take a breath, stand up, and move. Your mind and body will thank you, and your new mindset will flourish like never before. Chapter 7: Feed your mind with empowering inputs. Your mind is a garden, and the thoughts you cultivate are the seeds that grow there. Just like a garden can flourish or wither based on what you plant, your mindset depends heavily on the information and ideas you choose to feed it. If you consistently expose yourself to negativity, criticism, or unproductive distractions, your mental landscape will mirror that chaos. Conversely, when you intentionally seek out empowering, uplifting, and educational inputs, your mind will begin to thrive, blossoming with resilience, creativity, and clarity. Consider for a moment the influence of your daily media consumption. The average person spends several hours each day absorbing content from social media, news outlets, television, and the internet. This constant stream of information doesn't just fill time, it actively shapes your beliefs, emotions, and attitudes. If the content is fear-based, sensationalized, or discouraging, it plants seeds of anxiety and doubt. But if the content challenges you to grow, offers new perspectives, or provides solutions, it acts like sunlight and water for your mental garden. One of the most effective ways to feed your mind is by surrounding yourself with books and audio materials that inspire growth. Unlike fleeting social media posts, books allow you to dive deeply into subjects, explore complex ideas, and engage with the wisdom of people who have walked the path before you. Aim to read at least 10 pages a day, even if it's just before bed or during a quiet moment. Over time, these daily investments in learning accumulate, transforming your thinking in profound ways. In addition to reading, podcasts and audiobooks have become fantastic tools to nurture your mind, especially for those with busy lifestyles. They allow you to learn on the go, during commutes, workouts, or household chores. But, like any tool, the quality of the content matters. Choose shows and authors that inspire positive change, challenge your assumptions, and encourage lifelong learning. Over time, you will notice your inner dialogue shifting to a more empowering, hopeful tone. It's equally important to be discerning about what you allow into your mental space. Social media platforms are designed to capture your attention and often thrive on sensationalism, conflict, and drama. While it's tempting to scroll endlessly, this habit can distort your worldview and drain your mental energy. Be intentional about curating your feeds. Unfollow accounts that leave you feeling depleted or anxious, and follow those who share content that uplifts, educates, or motivates you. Another crucial aspect of feeding your mind positively is the practice of questioning and critical thinking. Don't just passively consume content, engage with it actively. Ask yourself, is this information true? Does this idea serve me? How can I apply this insight to my life? Developing this habit will help you avoid internalizing limiting beliefs and enable you to build a mindset rooted in discernment and personal growth. Remember, your inner dialogue, the voice inside your head, is shaped largely by external inputs. If you surround yourself with negative, fear-based messages, your mind will echo them. But when you immerse yourself in stories of perseverance, innovation, kindness, and wisdom, your inner voice will begin to reflect those qualities. This shift is subtle but powerful, creating a foundation of confidence and positivity that supports every decision you make. In addition to media and reading, seek out real-life conversations that challenge and inspire you. Engage with mentors, peers, or communities focused on growth and positivity. These human interactions often reinforce the mental inputs you absorb from books or podcasts and provide opportunities to practice new ways of thinking in a supportive environment. The synergy of learning from both books and people is a powerful catalyst for mindset transformation. Feeding your mind well is not about perfection or constant productivity, it's about intentionality and consistency. Small, daily habits of consuming empowering content build a cumulative effect that rewires your brain's neural pathways. Like a muscle, your mindset strengthens with regular use of positive inputs, helping you respond to challenges with resilience instead of defeat. Finally, be patient and gentle with yourself as you make this shift. Rewiring your mindset takes time. At first, you may notice the pull of old habits or negative thought patterns trying to reclaim space. This is normal. Keep returning to your empowering inputs, and gradually, your mind will become a fertile ground for confidence, creativity, and peace. Remember, the quality of your inputs determines the quality of your inner world. Chapter 8. Cultivate self-compassion. Self-compassion is often misunderstood as a form of self-indulgence or weakness, but nothing could be further from the truth. At its core, self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and understanding that you would offer to a dear friend who is struggling. It means acknowledging your own suffering without harsh judgment or criticism. When you cultivate this habit, you create a safe internal space where growth and healing can take place naturally. It's the foundation of true emotional resilience. Many of us carry around a relentless inner critic, a voice that points out every flaw, every mistake, every shortcoming. This voice can be so loud and persistent that it drowns out all the positive affirmations we try to tell ourselves. Self-compassion challenges this narrative. Instead of silencing your inner critic through force, you learn to quiet it with gentleness. This shift is profound because it moves you from a mindset of fear and punishment to one of acceptance and encouragement. One powerful practice in cultivating self-compassion is learning to reframe your mistakes and failures. Instead of beating yourself up for falling short, you acknowledge the difficulty of the situation and say to yourself, "It's okay. I'm human. I'm learning." This simple acknowledgement can soften your emotional response and reduce the spiral of shame and self-blame. When you treat yourself with kindness in moments of failure, you actually open the door to greater motivation and perseverance. Research has shown that self-compassion leads to healthier mental and emotional states. People who practice it experience less anxiety, lower levels of depression, and greater emotional stability. They also tend to be more open to feedback and less defensive. This openness allows for continuous personal growth, because you're less afraid to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself. In essence, self-compassion is a gateway to self-improvement rather than a barrier to it. Mindfulness is a crucial companion to self-compassion. When you cultivate mindfulness, you become aware of your thoughts and emotions without getting entangled in them. This awareness creates distance from your inner critic and allows you to observe your pain without exaggeration or suppression. Mindfulness helps you recognize that suffering is a universal human experience, which reduces feelings of isolation. You begin to see your struggles as part of a larger shared human journey, rather than a personal failing. To practice self-compassion effectively, it helps to develop a compassionate inner dialogue. This means paying attention to how you speak to yourself throughout the day. Notice when your tone turns harsh or judgmental, and consciously shift it toward one of kindness and encouragement. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I'm such a failure," replace that with, "I did the best I could with what I knew at the time." Over time, this compassionate self-talk becomes natural, and your mindset transforms. Another important element of self-compassion is learning to set healthy boundaries. Sometimes, our inner critic is amplified because we take on too much or say yes when we really mean no. Honoring your own limits and needs is a form of self-kindness. It's okay to prioritize your well-being. When you respect yourself enough to say no to things that drain you, you reinforce the message that your needs matter. This strengthens your overall mindset and resilience. Self-compassion also involves forgiving yourself for past mistakes. Holding on to guilt or regret keeps you stuck in a negative loop that drains your energy and clouds your vision for the future. Forgiveness is not about excusing poor choices, but about freeing yourself from the burden of self-punishment. When you let go of harsh judgments about your past, you reclaim your power to create a better present and future. Sometimes, cultivating self-compassion means reaching out for help when you need it. It's important to remember that compassion isn't just an internal practice, it can be external too. Talking to a trusted friend, therapist, or coach can provide perspective and support. Seeking help is a courageous act of self-care and signals that you value your mental and emotional health. Finally, remember that self-compassion is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when your inner critic is loud and relentless, and that's okay. The habit of self-compassion grows stronger with consistent practice and patience. Each time you choose kindness over judgment, you're rewiring your brain to respond differently to challenges. Over time, this new habit reshapes your mindset from one of self-criticism to one of self-love, and that transformation can change your life. Chapter 9. Set micro goals and celebrate progress. When it comes to changing your mindset and creating lasting transformation, the way you approach goals can make all the difference. Many people make the mistake of setting huge, overwhelming goals, like lose 50 pounds, write a book, or change careers, and then feel defeated when the progress isn't immediate or linear. The truth is, big goals can often paralyze us because our brains aren't wired to process vast, distant outcomes easily. This is where the power of microgoals comes into play. Microgoals are small, actionable steps that feel manageable and realistic, breaking down your big vision into digestible parts. They create a roadmap of progress that your brain can track and celebrate every day. Setting microgoals is like lighting a path through a dense forest. Instead of staring at an impossible maze, you place one small, clear stepping stone in front of you at a time. These tiny achievements build momentum. Each microgoal accomplished sends a signal to your brain that you are capable and moving forward. This activates your brain's reward system, releasing dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, that motivates you to keep going. Over time, these tiny wins compound into significant change, and you'll find yourself naturally progressing without burnout or discouragement. One of the most effective ways to implement microgoals is by focusing on habits rather than outcomes. Instead of setting a goal like write 10 pages today, try open your notebook and write one sentence. Or instead of exercise for 30 minutes, aim for put on your workout clothes. These seemingly small steps remove the pressure of achievement and redirect your energy to taking action, which is the true engine of change. By doing this, you lower the barrier of entry and make it easier for your mind to engage. Tracking your progress is equally crucial when working with micro-goals. It's one thing to take action, it's another to recognize and record that action. Using a habit tracker, journal, or even a simple checklist can dramatically boost your motivation. When you see a chain of completed tasks, the visual proof of your efforts reinforces your belief that change is possible. This sense of accomplishment, however small, feeds your self-confidence and strengthens your identity as someone who follows through. The power of seeing your own progress cannot be overstated. Celebration is a key ingredient that many people overlook. We tend to rush from one task to the next, rarely pausing to appreciate how far we've come. But celebrating progress, no matter how small, creates positive emotional reinforcement. This could be as simple as taking a moment to smile, acknowledging your effort, or treating yourself to something enjoyable. These celebrations don't have to be extravagant, they just need to be meaningful to you. When you celebrate, you are telling your brain that progress feels good, which makes you want to repeat the behavior. It's important to also learn how to celebrate progress without tying it to perfection. Sometimes progress might look messy or incomplete, and that's okay. Micro-goals allow for flexibility and imperfection because they focus on consistent effort rather than flawless execution. Recognizing that every step, even the imperfect ones, contributes to growth helps build resilience and patience. This mindset encourages persistence, even on days when motivation wanes or obstacles appear. Another benefit of micro-goals is that they encourage you to break free from the all-or-nothing mindset. When you think in extremes, either you do everything perfectly or you do nothing, it's easy to get stuck or give up. Micro-goals create a spectrum of effort, giving you room to adjust, pause, or pivot as needed without feeling like you've failed. This flexibility nurtures a positive mindset where progress is measured by effort and persistence, not just by perfect outcomes. Micro-goals also help you gain clarity about what truly matters to you. When you distill your ambitions into bite-sized actions, you naturally identify the steps that bring the most value and align with your priorities. This intentional focus prevents overwhelm and helps you stay on track toward meaningful achievements. Over time, you build not just habits, but a clear understanding of how your daily actions connect to your long-term vision. An essential part of this process is patience. The transformation that comes from rewiring your mindset doesn't happen overnight. Micro-goals train your brain to be comfortable with incremental progress, developing a steady, sustainable approach to change. They build a rhythm of success that eventually feels automatic, so automatic that your mindset shifts without conscious effort. Patience allows you to trust the journey, embracing the small wins as proof that you are moving in the right direction. Finally, remember that setting micro-goals and celebrating progress is a deeply personal practice. What feels like a meaningful win for one person might be different for another. The key is to tune into your own experience, honor your efforts, and celebrate your unique path. This practice rewires your mindset not just toward achievement, but toward self-compassion, resilience, and joy. By committing to this approach, you create a powerful foundation for lasting change. One small step, one celebration, one day at a time. Chapter 10. Surround yourself with positive influences. The people you surround yourself with have an incredible impact on your mindset. Like a mirror, your close relationships reflect back your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. If your circle is filled with negativity, doubt, or complacency, it becomes difficult to sustain a positive, growth-oriented mindset. But when you consciously choose to surround yourself with positive influences, those individuals inspire, motivate, and elevate you in ways you might never achieve alone. This is why the company you keep matters profoundly. It shapes your inner world. Positive influences don't just provide encouragement, they also offer new perspectives that challenge limiting beliefs. When you engage with people who see potential in you, who push you gently but firmly to be better, your mindset shifts from one of stagnation to one of continuous evolution. These individuals act as catalysts for change, offering constructive feedback and celebrating your successes. Their energy is contagious and fuels your motivation during moments when you feel like giving up. It's important to realize that surrounding yourself with positive influences isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about creating an environment where constructive optimism thrives, where challenges are seen as opportunities and setbacks become lessons. Such an environment supports resilience, emotional strength, and mental clarity. When negativity starts to creep in, the The positive voices around you help you stay grounded and refocused on your goals. Building this positive network requires intention and discernment. Take a moment to audit your current relationships. Who lifts you up? Who drains your energy? Who inspires you to be your best self? This is not always easy because sometimes toxic or draining relationships are deeply ingrained or tied to obligation. But recognizing these patterns is the first step to making necessary changes. Remember, protecting your mental and emotional health is not selfish. It's essential for your growth. Once you identify the people who enrich your mindset, nurture those connections. Spend quality time with them, share your aspirations, and listen to their stories. Genuine relationships built on mutual support and trust become powerful anchors in your journey of transformation. They remind you that you are not alone and that your efforts to grow are seen and valued. In times of doubt, these connections provide reassurance and hope. Seeking out new positive influences is equally important. Join communities, groups, or networks that align with your values and goals. This could be a book club, a fitness group, a professional organization, or an online forum focused on personal development. Immersing yourself in environments where growth is prioritized introduces you to like-minded individuals who are also striving to elevate their mindset. Such communities create accountability and offer rich sources of inspiration. Be mindful also of the media and content you consume. The digital world exposes us to countless voices, but not all contribute positively to your mindset. Curate your social media feeds and subscribe to content creators who promote empowerment, learning, and kindness. Avoid engaging with content that triggers negativity, comparison, or anxiety. Remember, your mental diet matters just as much as your physical one. An often overlooked aspect of surrounding yourself with positive influences is becoming one yourself. Influence is a two-way street. When you cultivate kindness, encouragement, and optimism within yourself, you naturally attract others who resonate with those qualities. Strive to be a source of positivity in your circles. Support others, share your learnings, and celebrate their successes. By doing so, you contribute to a positive feedback loop that uplifts everyone involved. Lastly, understand that this process of shaping your social environment is ongoing. People change, circumstances evolve, and your needs will shift over time. Stay adaptable and continuously reassess the influences in your life. Prioritize those that nourish your mindset and be willing to step away from those that no longer serve your growth. This intentional approach ensures that your mindset remains fertile ground for positivity, creativity, and resilience. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is not merely about companionship. It is a strategic, conscious choice that directly rewires your brain for success and well-being. When you invest in uplifting relationships and environments, you reinforce the positive habits that transform your thinking. And as your mindset expands, so too does your capacity to live a fulfilling, purposeful life. Each habit in this audiobook is a seed. With time, attention, and intention, they will bloom into a new way of thinking, and a new way of being. Rewiring your mindset doesn't happen in a day, but it begins the moment you decide to take full responsibility for your inner world. You are not your past. You are not your patterns. You are the architect of your mindset and your life. Thank you for listening. If this audiobook resonated with you, revisit it often. Let it be a gentle reminder of the power you hold within.